Hi, you guys. It is Thursday, July 9th, 2015. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 58. Thank you if you are new, and welcome if you are new to this podcast. And if you are returning again, I thank you guys so much for all your support. You can find the show notes for this podcast on knitandpurl.net, and that's Pearl. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am Fine Design on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith, all smooshed together on Instagram. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl podcast group, and there is a link in the show notes to the podcast group. This week we have new members and corrections. Flanana knits. Flanana, Lord. Flanana knits. I don't know. I'm sorry. Terry. She's from the United States. And also MMMJELIAS, who is Margaret from California, joined in the last couple of days. I want to make a correction, and I need to say hello and welcome to some people I have missed. When you don't have a profile picture, you don't show up as new kids on the main screen of the group, so I missed Sandub, who joined in January, in March, and I missed Lunch, who joined in June. So welcome, you guys. Sorry I missed you, but welcome. Come on in, enjoy yourself. Start a thread if you need to. Make yourself at home, and thank you so much for joining the group. We have a Ravelry group birthday shout outs, and I need to make corrections on that one too from last episode. I missed Squeaky J7, whose birthday was on July 4th. I missed it totally. And I misspoke on Knit Crochet Mad. Her birthday was actually on the 7th of July. So happy birthday to you, girls. Sorry that I missed you last week. This week we have Octobirdie, whose birthday is tomorrow, and Frampy, whose birthday is the 13th, so that would be Monday. So to all of you, happy birthday. I hope that you had or will have a wonderful birthday, and you get spoiled, lots of gifts, and all that stuff that goes along with birthdays, that you have a wonderful time. YouTube is just up and down right now. Not a lot of views, but I think part of that is because some people are viewing on iTunes now, or it's summertime and everybody's busy. I just hope that I haven't offended anybody, or, so I hope that's not the reason. So, anyway, thank you guys so much. So we're going to go right into, we're going to draw the June thread for the June, July, August knit along. Today we will draw, oh, Lord, we will draw for the June thread. We have 5 entries, and that would be 5 people that posted a project. And here they are. So we are going to just draw. Sorry, I'm not that prepared. I'm going to get the random number generator up. I don't know what that is. Okay. Random number generator. 1 through 5. 1 through 5. Generate. Number 2 is the winner. And number 2 is Nitpicky in PA, who is Carol. So, Carol, when you see this, message me on Ravelry with the pattern that you would like. $6 or less giftable pattern on Ravelry. Thank you guys so much for participating. So the July, I'm sorry, I'm itchy and I haven't even touched any wool yet. Just the anticipation, I guess. So July rules or thread for the June, July, August knit along. Show your progress. Now, it's not too late to join in. It's a blanket along, and you can piece, or you can make a baby blanket, or whatever you choose to do. You still have 2 months, or a month and almost 2 months that you can complete your project. So, in this thread, you're going to show us your project progress. We want to continue to have chatter in the thread and encourage each other, and whatever. You know what I mean. So the project needs to be started on June 1st or after, finished and posted by August 31st. The prize for July is going to be from the donation stash, and I will try to show that next week. Okay, that is all the administration. I hope it wasn't too confusing. So, the story of the week and stash enhancement. So, Ted and I left early Thursday morning for Las Vegas. We had a it was easy getting through security and all of that. Everything went smooth. The plane ride, because of the stormy weather, was a little bumpy at times, but we got there. We got to check into we got there. Okay. We departed at 8:10. The plane took off from St. Louis. We got into Las Vegas at 9:35. We lose 2 hours. It was a 3-hour and some flight. So we got to check in early to our hotel. We got an upgrade, got a nicer suite. It's really nice. So, we gambled, we ate. We met up with his niece, who also was there, and had supper with her Thursday night. And then Friday, we had breakfast in the room. And Ted encouraged me to go to a yarn store. So I found a yarn store to go to. Silly me, however, I forgot to bring my knitting. Oh, I should have brought my knitting, and I could have sat and relaxed. But I went to Sin City Knit Shop. Owner Deb McCarty, strangely enough, who's from Missouri. She's from Kansas City. She's been I think she told me she's been in Las Vegas for about 20 years. She's had this shop for about 3. It is very nice, very welcoming. Lots of yarn, some fiber, lots of tools. It was just a nice shop. Like I said, the people were very welcome. People were sitting knitting. Got to sit and talk. So anyway, if you have a trip to Las Vegas coming up and you want to visit a local yarn store, I would recommend this one. Sin City Knit Shop. Very fun. So I'm just going to show you my stash, which is, I was enabled by Blue Yarn Always, who is Sheila, who has the Never Cast Off podcast. There's a link in the show notes to her podcast. Last podcast, they were showing this yarn, and when I saw it and saw the colors, I had to get it. Uptown Worsted by Universal Yarns. It's just an acrylic, but it's an anti-pill acrylic. Beautiful colors. This one is called Electric Blue. And I think Sheila had this one. Well, I'm not for sure. Or she might have had this one, but they were beautiful. This one's called Periwinkle. It is 3.5 ounces, 180 yards. So I figured I can make a handbrake. That's what I was thinking about when I bought these. They would be some beautiful handbrakes. So before I go any further, speaking of the handbrake, I want to talk to you about the handbrake cowl, which is a $1 US, $1, maybe a little bit more, pattern by Kay and Dan Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast, and all of the proceeds for the sale of this pattern is going to cancer research. So I would recommend going over to Ravelry, getting the pattern, gifting the pattern. But what I brought my handbrake out for is because I have questions. Here's my handbrake. And if you notice, my slants are going the opposite direction of everybody else. I'm left-handed. So I have a question for other left-handed knitters. When you have a pattern like this that has distincting patterns in it, do you change the way you knit it as a left-handed person to make it look like everybody else's? Or are you like me and you don't really care? Because I was talking to to Debbie from Sin City Knit Shop about how I knit and how I learned to knit and all of that and how I'm left-handed. And she said, oh, well, all your stuff is like backwards. Do you have to change it? I'm like, I don't change it. I just knit it according to the pattern. Oh, well, that's too bad. I'm like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that mine is different than everybody else's. But I'm curious, if you're a left-handed knitter, do you come across this? Do you change the way you knit so that yours looks like the pattern? Let me know, please. In the comments below or on Ravelry, let me know how you do it. If you just knit it and accept that yours is going to be different. Because, hey, us left-handed people are just different, you know? So, I'm curious. I was thinking about that after talking to Deb about learning to knit and how, it was hard as a left-handed person and all that. And so, anyway, let me know. Sorry for the crinkling. And we went to the Brooks and Dunn and Reba McEntire concert. Ted and I both agree that it was the best concert that we've been to this year. The best one. I mean, I have never seen Reba McEntire in concert. It was wonderful. So, I filmed a little bit while we were in Vegas. I have a little like less than a minute film of the street outside our hotel, and a kind of a little little bit of our front of our hotel. So right here, I'm going to stick a picture. I'm going to cut. I'm going to enter the video here, and I'm raising my hand so I'll be able to get there and do that. Also, I want to talk to you about my hands. So, I know you people have probably noticed I've got these places on my hands. I've had this breakout before, and I assumed, I went to the doctor and he said it was contact dermatitis. Gave me prednisone, and it went away. But as soon as the prednisone was out of my body, it came back. And it finally just went away. This year it is back with a vengeance. And Ted and I, in the back of my head, and Ted voiced it the other day, he said, maybe it's from the yarn and the wool and this stuff. I don't know. But yeah, it's embarrassing. Sunday or Monday, I got out a pair of cotton gloves and I cut the fingers out, and I'm going to try to see what happens. I'm going to try to knit and spin with these on and see if that helps. And I also got some Dead Sea salt stuff to try, and some moisturizers, and I've been using cortisone creams, and but anyway, if you have any history with this, let me know and give me some pointers if you can, and I would thank you very much. So that is all of my story of the week and my stash. So let's move on to finished objects, and I have 2. Can you guess what they are? Can you guess? Dun, da, da, da. It's Off the Needles. My scrappy blanket is Off the Needles. Yay! So going the wrong way. I took the thing out because it's been washed and dried. I think I was about there, maybe a little bit more, last week, and so I finished it Tuesday, I believe, and I put it in the washer and dryer, and we've done the ends, and it's done. I love it. The craziness of all the color. When I picked it back up earlier, when I first picked it back up this year, I was in this pink. So I have knit quite a good amount since I picked it back up. More than half of it I just did. So I'm very happy with it, and I'm going to use it now. So anyway, it is I use the Grandma's Favorite washcloth recipe to knit this blanket. So it is a free pattern on Ravelry. You start out with, you cast on 4 stitches, then you do knit 2, yarn over, knit to the end. Do that until you have your desired amount of stitches. I did 200, and then you start decreasing, which is knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together until you get down to 4 stitches, and then you bind off. So I used size 10.5, 29-inch circulars, and I used up a lot of my acrylic stash, worsted weight acrylic stuff that was just laying around, from different projects. So there we go. It's done, and I'm happy. I'm glad I got me a blankie. I got me a blankie now, and I love that it's like the stripe is diagonal. I really love that. We got diagonal striping going on. It is kind of a little ugly, but I love it. That's done. I also, yay, I had a successful chain ply. I think Sunday, remember last Tuesday I showed you some stuff that I'd practiced with commercial yarn to do the chain ply or Navajo ply. And I was going to practice again, and I reviewed Knitting Bloom's tutorial on YouTube for chain ply. I watched her for a while, and I'm like, Monday I said, I'm going to do it. And I did it. This is the loop bat that I got from a friend of the podcast. It's a partial one. It was like 3.5 ounces. So, and it's like a gradient. What I had started out with this pink, lighter pink, and went into a darker pink, and then to a really, really darker. So I got a very nice. It wasn't overspun. It might be overplied. It might be a little underplied, but I'm very happy with it. I got 140 yards of a chain ply. It's so pretty. I'm just very, very happy with it. This spun up like butter. I mean, it was so nice to spin. And I'm sorry, I don't have what was in it. I think it's Blue-Faced Luster, but I'm not for sure. I don't have a card with it. Oh, I'm sorry. She also gave me a new measuring tape. Just because. It's cool. So, anyway. Just randomness galore. Anyway, there's my yarn. Chain plied. 140 yards of a loop bat. That's done. So, I recommend, so Knitting Blooms has a lot of tutorials on YouTube. If there's a technique that you're wanting to learn to do, I learned to do correct wheel spinning by her, and now I can accredit to her my chain ply, my Navajo plying. So I recommend her. She's awesome. She's very easy to watch and to listen to, and she does a really good job with her tutorials. So, whips. We will start with my pouch, my knitted pouch. I got a little bit of stuff done on it. I was there last week, and I didn't bring a lot of knitting with me. So let me tell you about this. This is my pattern. I'm using partial skeins of acrylic yarn that I had left over. So every day, this is Deborah Norville Everyday Anti-Pill. The color is baby pink, and this Encore Plymouth Yarns Encore in fuchsia. They're both 100% acrylic. They were just left over from projects. I think these were both left over from my raspberry cordial. Okay, so I have 40 stitches doing magic loop in the round till I get to my desired length for a pouch. Then I'm going to do a 3-needle bind off, do some lining, make a little thing into a strap, and do all of that. You'll see. But this is my plan, and it is in I'm using US 10 6.5 millimeters 40-inch circulars magic loop, and it's in my tangerine design bag from Etsy. I love this bag. Yep, I got it last year at the Strange Folk Festival. I hope I haven't missed it yet. I have to check that out. This year they're doing it at the I'm not going to say because I don't have all the information. Also, I have my Rose City Rollers. This is what I took on the plane ride. I after I got done podcasting and stuff, I last Tuesday, I cast it on. I got it to the point where I felt comfortable being able to take it onto the airplane without having to do all the heel flap and everything. So this is the second sock of the Rose City Rollers, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. Awesome pattern. Second sock. I'm using my the Clover 2.75. I'm using double point needles. Yes, I am. I'm going to have to try to cast on another one with my double point carbons just to see if I can do it. Anyway, let me tell you about this pattern. There's a link in the show notes to the pattern page on Ravelry. This sock is awesome. It is fun to knit, and it obviously knits up fast because it's just a little roller. Fits really nice. The heel flap turn, picking up the stitches. The pattern, if you have not knit socks or a very new sock knitter and very unsure, this is an awesome pattern. It explains everything because I haven't done a heel flap in a while and I was a little nervous about it. But this pattern is awesome, and I have no holes. I have no holes in the heel, which is the first time. So for the heel flap thing, I'm using leftover Patons Kroy Fern Rose from the other socks that I have, and this yellow is sorry, I'm lost. It is Daisy Knits Songbird Dewy Sock Base. And that is that. In my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm bag, which I need to... Yes, I linked. Okay. Link to Knit Spin Farm's shop in the show notes if you're interested. Here's the bag. It's so cute. Very nice drawstring bag with it's been camera sorry, going the wrong way. It's been farm. So nice bag. Cows, go on, Doris. You're taking and last night, that was all I had because I have finished 2 pretty good sized projects. So I cast on a hand spun cow, which is a bot pattern on Ravelry by me. So there's links in the show notes to this pattern as well. So please go over and give it some love. And I would appreciate it very much. I am using some hand spun. My hand spun. It is Happy Fuzzy yarn. The colorway is Sea Monster. My hand spun. And I'm using my 9-inch or US 9s 5.5 millimeter Knit Picks Dreams like butter needles. 24-inch circular. That's all I can say. I can't really show you because it's kind of bunched up on the needles, but I just started it last night. Just had a hankering for to use some more hand spun, and you can't really see the patterning of the cowl on this yarn yet. But it's an awesome cow pattern. If I must say so myself. Very easy to knit. Please click on the link, go over and take a look at it. favorite it, give it some love. Purchase it if you want a simple cowl that you can use your hand spun with. Even if it's thick and thin, it still works very well. The pattern works very well. I designed it so that it works well with thick and thin yarn because that's what I have, thick and thin yarn. So, another thing about the pattern, it's reversible. So you can, it doesn't matter how you wear it, you can wear it either way, it looks the same. So, thank you very much. I'm loving it. I got a lot done last night, so I just cast it on. That's all of the finished, the works in progress. So, spinning, I'm still working on my On the Round Cosmic Rainbow. This is the last 2 ounces. Well, not quite 2 ounces now. I started the second bobbin. I plan to ply this one. Isn't that just beautiful color? Oh my God. On the Round, links in the show notes to her site if you're interested in purchasing some of this lovely stuff. It spins very nicely. So, make sure, yes, I did. There are links in the show notes so you can go over and look at our stuff. So, next up, we're almost done. Next up, we have Pinterest, which is from Crafty Ghoul. I penned this because of this is the site Crafty Ghoul, and it's scrap and leftover yarn storage, and she gives you some ideas, but I penned it because of this. Is that not an awesome idea to use a toilet paper stand as yarn storage when you're working through it? It's easily comes off the spool and it's right there handy for you. I thought that was awesome. So links in the show notes to that. And Stumble, I am not going to read it all because it's 17 tips to make your life easier. Links in the show notes to this website. It gives you hints on to reheat pizza. You can reheat pizza by putting it on a non-stick skillet, and the heat medium to low, and you'll have crispy crust and not the soggy. To make easy deviled eggs, you put the yolks in a bag, smoosh them up, put the ingredients in there, smoosh it all together, cut a hole, squeeze it in. Awesome. And then throw away the bag. Expanding ice cream or icing, she said to whip it. Take it out of the container and whip it. It doubles in size. Reheating refrigerated bread by putting some water in the microwave so that it keeps it moist and it heats it faster. Using a newspaper to keep weeds away from your garden in the flower bed or in the in your garden. You can put down wet layers of wet newspaper to keep some of you people already knew that probably. Picking up broken glass, use a cotton ball or a Q-tip moist to help pick up the little shards. You can keep away I said I wasn't going to read it, but I guess I am. You can keep away mosquitoes by putting a dryer sheet in your pocket. Keep the squirrels away with cayenne pepper. Keep them from eating your vegetables and stuff. There's a update saying it might be harmful if it gets in animals' eyes, so you can dilute it by putting it in some soapy water and spray it around your plants to keep the squirrels from eating it. You can put a like wrapping paper, old, the roll. You can use that when you're trying to vacuum a heat register, or under the refrigerator. You can like put the roll onto the tube and get on, you know what I mean. Reducing static cling in your clothes. This says to put a safety pin. Pin a safety pin on your slip and you won't have unsticky measuring cups. Wet your cups before you put peanut butter and such in your measuring cups. Foggy windshield. It says use or buy and keep in your car an eraser, a chalk eraser. They said it works better than cloth. And reopening envelopes. You're writing out a bill and you forget to put something in. You've already sealed it. Put it in the freezer for an hour or two. I don't know about you, but for me, if I want to reopen something, I don't want to wait. I'm doing bills and I have to reopen something. I don't want to wait 2 hours. I want to be done. Just my opinion. You can use hair conditioner for shaving your legs. It's cheaper than shaving cream and it makes your legs nice and soft. You can use conditioner that you bought for your hair and you don't really like it. You can use it to shave your legs. Fruit flies, you can get rid of fruit flies in your fruit pile, or if you have a fruit bowl, by putting a half a cup of apple cider vinegar with a few drops of dish liquid. The flies are drawn to the cup and are gone forever. You can kill or get rid of ants by putting down cornmeal. The ants will take it and they eat it and they can't digest it and they die and they take it back to their home. And then the last one is some information on clothes dryers. I didn't read it. Sorry. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found entertainment and inspiration, and I hope that the color's bad. I hope that you come back again next week. There are links in the show in the bottom down here. There is a subscribe button you can hit if you haven't subscribed yet. I would really appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button over here, that you would leave a comment, and I would thank you so much. Bye, you guys. See you next week.